So at the bottom it says $20, and this was literally worth $20, but now the gold value is over 3,000. So think about that. I mean, that's how much the dollar has gone down.
I mean, gold is the stuff of legends. Just the color of it is something I think in our DNA gets us excited.
Buy your gold and silver online from SD Bullion. New customers get gold or silver at spot by visiting sdbullion.com/new.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to remind you that if you're enjoying this channel, and I hope you are, please subscribe. We still get a lot of people right here in the shop who say, I watch your videos, and when I ask, are you subscribed? They say, well, no, I haven't yet. You know, we had a goal this year of getting to 500,000 subscribers, and I'm very grateful to say that Silver Dragon's channel is now at 353,000, but please subscribe. It helps the channel, it helps bring you better content, it helps keep things interesting. So very grateful for those who've subscribed and grateful to everyone who watches, but if you haven't subscribed, please hit that button.
Look at this case full of silver. Harry, if I could describe your shop right now, it would be bursting at the seams.
Yeah, because other than today, which everything is down, we can talk about, but silver has been kind of on the move, and the ratios changed from 100 to 1 something to like 91 to 1, and because of that, people have found an opportunity to unload some silver that maybe they've been waiting for the right moment. So we've been buying quite a lot.
Yeah, I do want to talk about the price, because today we're actually seeing silver and gold go down, and there's a lot of stuff happening in the news. It seems like the conflict in the Middle East is maybe winding down.
Maybe. I mean, there's a tentative ceasefire that's hasn't been holding very well, but nonetheless, it's starting to look like a big war in the Middle East is kind of coming to a close, and perhaps that the run-up in the last several days of the metals is over, because people are, you know, that was already, the war was baked in, and now it's like, okay, it's over, back to normal.
Well, what do you think? I mean, do you think it's all over?
No, I don't, because I think Iran will violate the ceasefire and Israel will inevitably retaliate. There'll be some skirmishes back and forth, although President Trump is scolding them both for doing those things, and so that might keep it to a minimum.
So right now, the way that this is affecting precious metals is we're seeing gold and silver come down, but honestly, silver's only down about 55 cents as we're filming. I would have expected it to go down a lot more.
Well, what you're seeing, I think, is a sigh of relief that, hey, World War III isn't starting. This 12-day skirmish is all but over. As far as going down, I'm not sure I agree that it was going to go down several dollars, but it is down today versus the last several days when it's been kind of on a tear upward.
Right, but I mean, it's still holding above $35 for now, silver is.
Oh yeah, it's not a bargain, but if you're looking for opportunities to buy on the dips, today is certainly a dip.
Yeah, well, I mean, my favorite time to buy is when I see red.
Yeah.
And you guys are full of silver. We have a lot here in the 90%, but also if we take a look at the coins, rounds, and bars, I mean, you guys are just fully stocked here. So you could pretty much get your pick of anything you want, right, Adrian?
Yeah, it's a good time to pick up when we have inventory and also when prices are down. We got a lot of gold buffaloes there, some Krugerrands, bars, pre-33, a little bit of everything, even some platinum.
Yeah, I do actually want to talk about the platinum for a second. Maybe we could get Richard to weigh in, our resident platinum expert. Richard, you are the one saying platinum was a good buy when it was under $1,000 an ounce. Mm-hmm. Now it's at about $1,300. So I guess you kind of called it.
Yay. I wasn't expecting it to rise as quick as it did, but I mean, if you look at the other metals and how fast they did, it's just about time that platinum caught up a little bit. I'm sure a lot of people still think it has room to go.
And it is interesting too that platinum has passed up palladium, and it just continues to go. I mean, palladium was higher than platinum for years, but that's not the case anymore.
And I think part of it is that the government is for now signaling that they're not going to try to make more EVs happen by a certain deadline. They'll allow companies to still produce a lot of gas vehicles, so there'll be a lot of industrial use for it.
Yeah, because platinum is in the catalytic converters. So if there's a lot of gas cars, they're going to need platinum and the price will go up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting. So you guys have the 1 ounce, and actually maybe if we could pull it out, I want to bring something up that maybe a few of the viewers are not aware of. So platinum is actually more dense than gold. This is a full ounce of platinum.
Yes, that's a full ounce, and if we compare it to, say, a 24 karat gold buffalo.
So you could see it in the thickness there. I mean, honestly, the platinum looks extremely dense compared to the gold. It's probably like half as thick and about the same diameter.
Yeah.
But the one issue with platinum is that it looks like silver. Right, Harry?
It sounds uneducated, but it's how I feel about it. It just looks to me like silver, but it costs a lot more. When you hold platinum, it has a feel that is very unlike silver, as you guys were just talking about. So, and I believe it's also a more rare metal than gold, that there's just less of it. But it's not nearly as popular. I mean, gold is the stuff of legends. Just the color of it is something I think in our DNA gets us excited. But nonetheless, I mean, platinum is a precious metal, and Richard's done wisely by investing in it, because obviously it's on a great move right now. But definitely not something we sell a lot of here.
It's a delicacy.
It is a delicacy, and it's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. If you put all your eggs into platinum, you would have missed on silver and gold going up as well. So it's all about diversity.
Yeah, even within the metals.
It's a good thing to have a wide appetite when you're stacking, because like Richard was saying, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. If you pick up a little bit of gold, a little bit of silver, and maybe just a little bit of platinum too, it diversifies what you're doing, and it puts you in a good position, as right now when we're up, over $300 from where it was. Yeah, it's a good idea to stack a little bit of everything if you can.
One thing that I'm just realizing is that if you try to make your stack look like the inventory at the coin shop, that's actually a pretty good way to go.
Hey,
I mean,
you hit the nail on the head. I mean, look at us. That's why we offer everything, right? Because everybody likes to collect a little bit of everything, or things that are different from one another. But yeah, I mean, if you look at our inventory and look at what we're doing, it's a good idea to try and match that if you can.
yeah, I mean, look how much silver you guys got. So, we'll call it a few thousand ounces of silver. You got, like 10 ounces of gold and 1 ounce of platinum. I think that's a pretty good ratio, Harry.
And not only that, but to the point that you guys just made about having your stack mirror a coin shop's inventory, the inventory also would imply what's popular, what people like to stack. There's 1 piece of platinum to 10 ounces of gold in our showcase, so maybe that's indicative of what the market is for you, and therefore maybe that's what your stack should look like. I don't know, it's just an interesting idea you guys bring up. I mean, look at all the constitutional silver. We sell scads of this, and that's why we try to keep a lot of it in stock, because there's such a great demand for it.
Well, and the other thing too is, if you make your stack look like the inventory at the coin shop, then when it comes time to sell your stack, they're going to buy it for sure.
I agree with that too. In fact, there are things that come in here that are a little on the weird side, hard to sell. For instance, I thought I had in here a couple of things. You guys have already grabbed it. They kill me. But people sometimes bring in like Canadian 1 1/4 ounce wildlife or 1 1/2 ounce wildlife rounds from Canada and other countries, and people are looking for ounces. Not that we won't buy it, but I always know it's going to be a dog, and it's just not going to sell well because it's not the numbers people are looking for. By the same token, things like 1/4 ounce and 1/2 ounce and even 1/10 ounce silver rounds sell terribly, because that's not what people are looking for.
If people are going to get fractional, generally they're going to want to buy the constitutional silver. This is going to be easier to barter with.
Absolutely.
As compared to those other
I couldn't
rounds.
agree more. And nonetheless, the stuff does come in odd increments, and we buy it, but I'm not as thrilled about it as the day-to-day stuff. So going back to the point of have it look like the coin shop's inventory, I would steer away from the oddball sizes. Even if the design is something you like, buy one because you like it and it's a hobby, and I get it. But I wouldn't stack, 1 1/4 ounce Canadian.
It's also because of the premiums too. I mean, the labor costs have already been accounted for the 90%. It's already been made, so you're going to pay much lower premium buying $half, quarters, and dimes versus 1/2 ounce, 1/4 ounce, and 1/10 ounce pieces. I mean, just go look at the premiums of quarter ounce and 10th ounce pieces, and the reason why it's so high is because it's the same labor costs per coin for that quarter and 10th ounce pieces, because it's the same amount of effort to make a 10th ounce as it is a full ounce.
So for example, let's say it costs $1 to make a 1 ounce silver round. It also costs $1 to make a 1/10 ounce silver round. So the premium is just going to be higher.
Yeah, exactly. These have already been made, and the thing is they can make as many 10th ounces as there is silver. There's only so many of these, so when you think about it, they're not making this stuff anymore, but it's lower premium. It's such a great bargain.
Yeah, I love the 90%, the constitutional. And actually, I saw on another channel that some coin shops are actually sending this stuff in to be melted. It's legal to melt it, right?
It is. The only things that aren't legal to melt right now are the cent and the nickel, because they're still being used out there. But this stuff is obviously not circulating, and therefore it's fair game to melt it. And a lot of it's getting melted.
Well, how do you feel about that, Harry? I mean, this stuff here is part of our history. Do you think that 90% should be going to the melter right now?
I don't go out of my way to melt it, that's for sure. In fact, the place that I sell the excess to, they resell it as what it is. Therefore, it's not getting melted. But nonetheless, there's a lot of places melting it. It's just human nature. I mean, people live in the now, they want to be paid now and not really regarding the future, preserving a historical piece. I get that too. But it is a shame to see some of this disappear. I suppose it is becoming more rare if it's getting melted, but there was so much of it made that I'm still amazed how much of it comes in by the bag. You know, you'd think we would have mined out the local area here with this, and yet it just keeps coming in.
I want to ask you, Adrian, about the junk silver getting melted. Do you have any issue with that taking place?
Well, the collector in me, you know, I see mercury dimes and walkers. It just kind of hurts a little bit to know that they're being melted, but I mean, it's silver and people are selling it, and sometimes, you know, when you have a shop, you have to melt stuff that you don't really want to, and we know, like we say, it's like, hey, look, it's just becoming more rare, so it's a good thing to put away. And like Richard was saying, I mean, they're not making this stuff anymore, so if you can put some of this away, it's a good idea, especially how divisible it is and those small increments. Just when it comes to premiums and so on, with, you know, Merc dimes, Roosevelt dimes, even quarters, you're getting a nice size of silver that can be used for barter, and without having to pay the crazy premiums that you have to pay for rounds, for example.
Do you think if the price of silver continues to go up, that more and more of it is going to get melted?
Oh yeah, I mean, just everything's silver. I mean, silverware, people start bringing in everything when the price of gold goes up, or the price of silver, for example. I mean, people just start bringing everything. I mean, they'll bring something that looks the color silver. Hey, is this silver? So if they have grandma's, you know, silverware set, or grandpa's tooth, or grandma's tooth in any case, people will come and do that.
Can I make another point about melting? In this regard, it's got to do with gold. And it's a shame also, but people sell us all the time odd gold coinage from various countries that was meant for circulation for the most part. This is a Netherlands 10 gulden. You have Mexico 5 peso. We get a lot of 20 francs from France and Belgium and Switzerland. Most of that gets melted. And the reason why is today's stackers like even numbers. They want 10th ounce, quarter ounce, half ounce, you know, things that are, the math is easy. And the problem is these coins are odd numbers. You know, the weight of it is 0.1967 or 0.2354. I've even put this stuff out occasionally at melt in the shop, gold at melt. I can't give it away. So I end up taking it to the refiner and getting, you know, 98% or something less than melt. It's the reality. I mean, we buy everything that people offer to us, but then I get stuck with it because I can't even sell it at melt, and therefore, what do I do with it? I guess I'm guilty as the next guy is for causing historical coins to be melted, but if no one will buy it, I can't tie up cash indefinitely for something that's just going to sit here.
Well, what I would say to that is at least you're not melting the pre-33 gold, right? I mean, like the American stuff is safe.
That still sells pretty well because there's enough people out there that like historic U.S. coins, but that does not translate to the world coins at all.
Wow.
And I would say that with the odd weights too, I've seen at other places, like if it's not an attractive enough pre-33 coin, Like it's one that was more heavily circulated. I've seen those get melted too. So this stuff's getting rarer all the time. It's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. You know, the thing about pre-33 gold that always gets me, we call it pre-33 because it became illegal to own it in 1933.
And there was none minted after 1933.
Exactly. But some of these coins here, I mean, these could have been kept illegally by someone. I think you were allowed to hold like 5 ounces or something, but anything beyond that you had to turn in to the government, right?
Yes, and bear in mind too, this was a week's pay back when the Depression was in its darkest times, and so most people weren't holding 5 of those. And just to Richard's point also about some of this uglier $20 gold pieces, for instance, getting melted, these are actually attractive, but we've had some in here that are very well circulated, and you put that next to, say, a modern buffalo that's beautiful, it's just not going to sell.
Yeah. Here's the thing too. It's like when I see those, I just think of all the things that it went through, you know, like what it purchased and whose pocket it was. So if you like history and, you know, the history of the United States coinage, I mean, just what that could buy you back then and what it's been through. To me, that I like a coin that has some character to it.
So at the bottom it says $20, and this was literally worth $20, but now the gold value is over 3,000. So think about that. I mean, that's how much the dollar has gone down. This used to be the same as 20 Morgan dollars. Isn't that wild?
Very crazy how, you know, this was $20. You used to be able to get a tailored suit for $20. And if you think about how much a really nice tailored suit costs now, it's pretty comparable. But back to what you're saying about it being illegal to own. There's 2 big things. Like you said, you could own, I believe it was up to 5 pieces of the same date. That was the coin collector's exemption. You know, people tend to believe history repeats itself. So if something were to happen like that again, maybe they would look back on that and be like, oh, you can't own gold, but maybe for coin collectors you can, and this might be a good way to diversify your gold stack, because you could have some of this pre-33 and be like, oh, you know, I'm a coin collector. The other thing, if you look back at the gold they did confiscate, a lot of people, you know, probably did willingly turn it in, but the stuff they did confiscate, it was to make examples out of people, and they made it like publicly aware, or told enough people that they owned it. If you don't tell people you own it, which goes back to something I, you know, said a long time ago, tell nobody.
Then they won't be able to take it.
Then they wouldn't be able to take it if they didn't know you had it.
And there's people who solely collect pre-33. We have a few customers that's all they want, and it's for the reasons that Richard's saying. In case that there's ever that, you know, danger of confiscation, you have some U.S. gold and stuff that was actually money before. So
the government actually paid people for the gold. I mean, you could argue they didn't pay them enough money.
Yeah. You know what happened after that, right?
Right. They raised the
revalued
price.
the gold, and it's like, okay.
Thank you, Roosevelt. It went from what, 20 to 35 bucks an ounce or something.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, I think there was also an exemption for dentists. So I think I might, you know, start practicing dentistry in my spare time.
Time to get a grill.
Yeah, I mean, that, you know, they need gold for the fillings.
We're looking at history through our lens of today. The truth is, a $20 gold piece or a $10 bill, or excuse me, a $20 bill, for most people is like, yeah, whatever, okay, they don't want us having this, I'll go get the paper. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
It was still just circulating coinage. It wasn't something historical or worth more than $20. So most people who complied probably shrugged the whole thing off. The confiscation part, where actually they came and took it, as Richard said, was a very unusual circumstance where they made examples of people, but it was a voluntary thing. You were asked to come do it. It was very rare for someone to knock on your door to ask, you know, for your gold. The reason I don't think this would ever happen again is the U.S. government is now in the gold business. They sell lots and lots of gold bullion and make billions of dollars on those transactions every year. Therefore, there'd be no reason to to shut the door on that stream of revenue. It's just never going to happen again. I just don't see any way that would ever happen again.
Yeah, as long as the government is selling us gold, they're not going to be asking for it back.
Exactly.
And another point, too, is that the dollar isn't backed by gold anymore, so they don't have as much reason to want it.
No, it's something that's out there. It's a form of wealth. It's as likely to happen as say, confiscating real estate. I guess if that's possible, then anything's possible.
Yeah, it's true. Well, Harry, with the price of gold and silver dipping a little bit, do you think now is a good time to be picking up more?
If you're timing the market, and as you said, you like to buy when the numbers are red, it's a dip. So consider the way you shop for other things. There's a sale going on today because the price is lower today. Don't know what tomorrow's going to bring.
Yeah, and one thing that we wanted to mention is we're going to be set up at the Fun Show in Florida. Here are the dates. It'll be the 10th through the 12th.
And you guys actually have your own booth this time?
Yes, we'll be at booth 636. And there's a little map here that shows, so this is the main entrance. And so if you go straight down, we're going to be here at booth 636 in front of the Coins and Kids booth.
And if you guys have anything you might want to sell around this time too, we will be buying, and we'll also have some stuff to sell as well, so check it out.
Yeah, we'll be buying silver, gold, coins, of course, watches, jewelry, so a little bit of everything.
What do we got going on here?
Well, here's Silver Dragons. I've got some of the slabs back from NGC, PCGS. It's a lot of our world material. We have limited space in the case and limited local market for more advanced world material, so it's coming to Florida with us, and the only way you're going to see it is if you show up to the Orlando Fun Show here in the beginning of July.
Can we take a look at one of the coins?
Yeah, let's take a sneak preview. I'll just pick one out here. It's a Macau 1986 100 Pataka. That's a proof.
It's got a dragon on it, Bill.
I guess it does.
I think that one's not going to make it to the show. That's coming home with me.
Okay, well, we got to show people something that's going to be there. I guess that one's spoken for now, everyone. So, with this Irish stag, it's also a silver proof.
That is an amazing
Ultra
piece.
cam.
Well, hopefully we'll see you at the show, huh?
Yeah, I'll see you at the show.
All right, thanks, Bill.
Thanks.
I think that's going to be a fun show.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, booth 636 is going to be at the Orange County Convention Center in Orlando, so we hope to see you there.
All right. Hey, thanks for the time, Adrian.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, King Richard.
Thank you,
Harry.
Silver Dragons.
Thanks.